On the topic of comparing dark-skinned women to men, let's see what she has to say.
What's the psychology behind comparing dark-skinned women to men? It's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, the psychology is racism. Well, first of all, if we understand the history in America, Black people weren't even considered humans, right? And then if you're not even considered a human, therefore, as a woman, you're not fully considered a woman. And then also when you add to that, this perception of dark skin automatically being connected to things that are more masculine, that are less feminine, that are less fair. So, I mean, it's just racism. Like, it's just pure and simple.
And I know it. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and anthropology. I know that it's all stemmed from racism and colonialism. Right. But it's very interesting now, as I post more regularly on TikTok and my, videos do good numbers and go into the dark parts of the internet. Everybody wants you want your post to do well until it ends up on that side of the internet. And so when it ends up on that side of the internet, where it's not people that follow me and know me, the mean comments that I get are like people comparing me to this dark-skinned male athlete that they know, or this dark-skinned male celebrity that they know.
I mean, are you talking about X? That is essentially a Nazi app at this point. And I'm on X. You can follow me on X, but X is literally full of Nazis. So if she's talking about that side of the internet, that is X. You have people out there who are just literally trafficking in propaganda. There are certain apps, there are certain things that are just like par for the course. If I was to go on X and look at all the comments of what people said, and I took that to heart, I mean, I might be in therapy every day, because what people say on there is completely evil, vile, and horrible. And I want to believe that some of it is being instigated by the alphabet boys. I want to believe that. And some people are just sick and vile, or just they have sick hearts and they need healing, or they're just unwell in the head. Hey, that's just the internet.
When people want to insult me, they compare me to a man, or are you trans and this and that. And to me, I'm like, listen, if you thought I was trans, like, you would show me so much more respect.
But here's the thing though, too. She's not saying it, she's saying people. By people, I'm wondering if she's meaning white folks, white men. The reason I'm saying that, listen, I could be going way off of a limb here, but here's one thing that I can say that was brought to my attention that I'm like, oh, I kind of think it's true. So when Black men do something, Black women are very comfortable calling it out. Very comfortable being very specific. This is an issue that Black men do. They have no problem calling it out. They have no problem blasting it out all across the internet. They have no problem doing think pieces about it. They have no problem doing nighttime specials about it. They have no problem writing articles. They have no problem even doing documentaries and podcasts about it. When Black men do something that is specific to Black men, Black women collectively have no problem calling it out. Actually, in some cases, they love to call it out. They love it. Now, when white men do something, then it's an all men issue. Or it's more general. It's like, oh, this is something that men do. This is something that impacts the male species. And so now it becomes more of like kind of a general human trait that needs to be addressed. But like I said, when Black men were very specific, oh, it's always Jermaine's fault. If white men does it, oh, well, all men. I'm not saying that that's exactly what she's doing, because I don't really know enough about her, but I am wondering if she is essentially referring to white men. I tend to feel as if she's referring to white men specifically because of what she said, dark parts of the internet. I'm like, hashtag X. That's basically what you're referring to, because I'm like, X is dark part of the internet at this point. Then she said, yeah, comparing her to men, to trans men. And I'm like, Black men aren't going around comparing dark-skinned women to men. That's not what they generally think when they see dark skin. Like, there's Black men out there who love dark skin, like really, 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 really love dark skin. Even Black women who have Black features. Think of Serena Williams. Think of the way that Black men collectively were thirsting after Serena Williams. Some people even try to downplay that and be like, oh, well, it's just because of her body, and dark skinned women get sexualized because of their body. And so people try to make that negative. But nevertheless, Black men were thirsting after Serena Williams. She was a poster child. You remember Jamie Foxx doing 2 songs about her? I think she was on like the Black Men magazine as like the cover girl. Like, Black men were thirsting over this dark-skinned girl. White men, on the other hand, white community were calling all kinds of monkeys, talking about, saying she was manly, she was aggressive. They were masculinizing her. They were trying to take away her femininity. So I'm using an example is to say, is she talking about white men? Or white folk, but primarily white men, but doesn't want to say it because for some reason, again, I didn't even call this out, but I do kind of agree that I do feel like there's this code that I see that when Black women want to call Black men out, we gonna be Black men. But when it's white men, it's like we want to keep them more general. You don't want to offend. You don't want to offend maybe, or maybe because you're attracted to white men and you want to kind of keep that door open in case you meet women. I don't know, just a thought. I could be totally off here, but I'm curious, what do you guys think? Does that resonate as true? Am I like way off the board here? Am I missing something else? Y'all let me know. She's almost done.
And a lot of the comments that I get, from people making these types of comments are from men. sometimes Black men.
Sometimes.
And so it's like this obsession with masculinizing and making dark-skinned women.
Sometimes, let me also say too, and this is where I'm like, I'm just talking X specifically because I've just been on there for some time. Sometimes these neo-Nazis will do is they'll take an account and they'll actually put a black face. So they may put a black man or a black woman. You can tell that they're like white based upon the way that they talk. Sometimes they may even take like a black face and then like they'll make the features like really extreme. You can even look at their content, or they may say particular things in the description where it's just like, bro, like you're clearly white. There are people online who they portray to be black and they're not. It happens for black women and black men. So that's what I'm saying. Like I recognize that some of the stuff we see online is not even like actively coming from black people. Like there are powers that be out there that actually are trying to drive a wedge. But I'm like, this is why I like to sometimes, not that I want to lean completely on anecdotal experience, but I like to take that into consideration and then put that in a larger context, because I'm like, it's not normal in black culture to have black men going around comparing dark-skinned women to men. Like you don't actively see that in our culture. That's not like a trope that we deal with. So if you're seeing that online, I wouldn't attribute that to black men or even black culture, because that's nothing that we do in our day-to-day life. That's nothing that's like really nothing that we struggle with in that sense. I would contribute that more to like mainstream culture, racist white folk, or just racist folks period, and then recognize that that has a way of bleeding over into social media. And like I said, there's trolls and all the kind of different stuff. And like I said, there are some black people who they may adopt that just to try to make a point, but it's not something that's really deriving. Like that, we can't say that's a black issue. It's really not.
Masculine or comparing us to men, it's old, it's tired. Like I'm all a woman. And so like using that as a way to like discourage us or
yeah. So what do y'all think about this whole thing? I don't think this is a black issue. I don't think it's a black issue for black people, men and women, to be going around comparing dark-skinned women to men. I think that is something that you deal with in a racist system. And she did acknowledge that at the beginning. So, this is my 2 cents. But anyways, what do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Be sure to follow me on Substack. You can check me out on channel membership. You can also show support on my Cash App or Venmo. And be sure to check out my books, Aisha Learns to Love Her Hair, where we teach young black girls the value of embracing the hair that God gave them. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far. And we'll talk later, okay? Bye!